calling unto you, the people of the earth, and my appeal is full of love. Hard times have come, and it's right time for all of us to understand that making war is wrong and fatal. For we are here to live safe, to love and care for each other, to be in single spirit with the Mother Nature. For we are all the children of the wild. And what do we do instead? Destroy and ruin day by day, fight with each other, and with hate in hearts we sow evil, violence, and darts. We need to think of it today, of what we've come to, of our way, and realize what huge mistakes we've made, and fix them, and build a better world. We must return to causes of creation, escape from envy, enmity, and wars. Decide how to continue our living, and how do we save the nature and the earth. You, people, hear my call on peace and kindness, and choose the path of truth, soul purity, and love. Let's take the path of mercy and compassion and stand together to protect the world. Please, people, have a look around. The earth is beautiful and so may be the life. The Mother Earth is rich in gifts, and all she wants from us are loving heartbeats. For our lives are given from above. The world we live in was created for happiness and love, for us to be admired with the nature, feel good and nice, and listen to the songs of birds of paradise. We have it all to live and to enjoy, to do good deeds and give them all to kids. The world is wonderful and full of magic colors. There's still so much to know and to learn, to feel and to discover. The world is full of beauty, and it's fragile. and destruction, to stop grief, pain, and human greed. We must say no to wars and evil forces. May people overcome the sufferings, and may we live in peace. Let's call on light and good and the Creator to stand for us and help, to be our mentor. May we all see the earth in happiness and blossom. I'm calling unto you, the people of the earth, and my appeal is full of love. Hard times have come, and it's right time for all of us to understand that making war is wrong and fatal. For we are here to live safe, to love and care for each other, to be in single spirit with the Mother Nature. For we are all the children of the wild. And what do we do instead? Destroy and ruin day by day, fight with each other, and with hate in hearts we saw evil, violence and darts. We need to think of it today, of what we've come to, of our way, and realize what huge mistakes we've made, and fix them, and build a better world. We must return to causes of creation, escape from envy, enmity, and wars. Decide how to continue our living, and how do we save the nature and the earth. You, people, hear my call on peace and kindness, and choose the path of truth, soul purity, and love. Let's take the path of mercy and compassion and stand together to protect the world. Please, people, have a look around. The earth is beautiful and so may be the life. The Mother Earth is rich in gifts, and all she wants from us are loving heartbeats. For our lives are given from above. The world we live in was created for happiness and love, for us to be admired with the nature, feel good and nice, and listen to the songs of birds of paradise. They have it all to live and to enjoy, to do good deeds and give them all to kids. The world is wonderful and full of magic colors. There's still so much to know and to learn, to feel and to discover. The wild is full of beauty, and it's fragile. so fragile that a single crushing moment can kill the magic for all times. Before it's too late, we all together need to fight the force of evil and destruction, to stop grief, pain, and human greed. We must say no to wars and evil forces. May people overcome the sufferings, and may we live in peace. Let's call on light and good and the Creator to stand for us and help, to be our mentor. May we all see the earth in happiness and blossom. Let's make the world shine brighter with good deeds. Let's stop the wars and cultivate the peace. Here is my calling. Please, be patient. Listen. I'm begging you, the people of the earth.
Good day, dear partners, dear friends. Please tell me how well you can hear and see me. Good. Thank you very much for your feedback. I do welcome to our today's session. Wish you all to stay in good health. And for this, we need peace on our planet Earth. And there is nothing actually which has its meaning when there is no peace. Peace is so important at this time because people's mindsets are bombarded with a lot of unnecessary information. And today it is done in a purposeful way. The people are separated so that they do not unite, come together like before. They don't communicate, don't share their energy, their thoughts. And media promotes and facilitates this, and different TV channels, unfortunately. But we all were born to be happy. And why does someone ruin our lives. Most people on the planet Earth do not ask these questions, but to start listening to your hearts, understanding how to live independently from negative things, be strong, powerful in your soul, in your body. You are to come together with the like-minded people who would like to change the world for the better and to change the lives of other people for the better. And therefore, only being united and together, we can influence our surrounding and the world in general. It's not by chance, by accident, that today we have this joint forum together with Evorich Holding and the International Public Association World's Generals for Peace. And their main focus is to create. And today we will get the updates about the outcomes, the results, so that they become the incentives for us to move forward. And I'm sure that today at this meeting, we have people who are not indifferent to what is going on around the globe, who are not indifferent to how our children will live, and who are not indifferent to the way how jointly we can make this life better. And it will be achieved only when there is peace on the world, in the world. And I'm honored to give to you a person who for the last 10 years is thinking how to promote peace on the world, how to make our young generation stronger, more powerful, how to build harmony with all the nations on the globe. And now I would like to pass the floor to Major General of the Militia, President of the International Public Association, World's Generals for Peace, Anatoly Skargin. Please welcome. Tatiana, namaste, as they say in India. I love you, my big family. This is the quotation from Anatoly. How well can you hear me? Dear friends and colleagues, I'm really excited that the Peace Forum takes place at this time. According to the ideas of politicians of different countries, the world has never been closed to the war like today. Even the Caribbean crisis, according to many experts, was much softer than the situation today. And we should not find those to blame the governors and the country officials, but we are to find what to do to unite everyone. For the sake of the future, we are to remember the lessons of the past and to inherit them from generation to generation, the lessons learned in the First and the Second World Wars, bloody wars. Teach our children to cherish this peace and respect the nations. Quite recently, I talked to one female graduate and asked her how many people died in the Second World War. And do you know how she answered? About 1,000 people. I asked her to think it again. Maybe you made a mistake. And she says a bit less than 1,000. Do you see? This is a tragedy. There are few generations who don't know the truth about the Second World War. Therefore, our task is to teach our children to cherish their peace and to respect other nations. From the time immemorial, when people greet each other, they say peace to you, because peace is number one, is priority number one. When there is no war, there is no happiness, no joy, no business. But unfortunately, people live in a different way. Wealth is number one, then health, and then peace, the last place. And they start recalling peace when there is the conflict devastating people's lives. And I would like to remind you that in 2019, for weapons, they spent 2 trillion US dollars. And after the Second World War, I pay your attention. After the Second World War, in conflicts, over 10 million people died, whereas a day, according to the statistics, about 300 children die. This is the UN statistics. When a relative dies in a family, this is a tragedy. But when there are many people dying, this is the statistics. And unfortunately, people treat it in a different way until this grief comes to their lives. Today, the mass devastation weapons are in phenomenal numbers. For instance, there were the following indicators detected: 57 megatons of explosion, which equals to 57 tons in trotyl equivalent, which is much more powerful than all those weapons used in the Second World War combined. One bomb, Tsar bomb, replaces all those ammunition and weapons used in the Second World War. If this bomb explodes in Paris, then the city will turn into sand. And now you understand the strength of the weapons and of the weapons of the Second World War. The time has come when the people, the nations, could be ruined in a few hours, and the latest trends show that if we hope for the governments of the countries, this is a risky and dangerous exercise. We are to come together for the sake of peace, because unfortunately there is no other way to keep peace on the planet Earth. And our time has come as new communication opportunities have come. And we are committed and responsible for our children, grandchildren, and use these technologies and ruin the intentions of those people willing to start wars without understanding the consequences. Today's status of the uh, weapons will give no chances to anyone. No one actually dreamed of such a project and was brave to start it. There were some attempts when there was state funding, but as soon as it was in shortage, all the projects ended. And we are 10 years of old, but we are at the very beginning. Starting this journey, we were blessed by 5 religious confessions that actually proves that all the religions of the world are eager to support this peace movement. To be recognized and visible, we took several steps, including expedition to the North Pole with our flag, the participation in the peace summit in Seoul, and coming to the space with the Russian and the US crew. And our flag over 5,000 times was around the planet of Earth in this space. And hopefully, after the plans are implemented, this idea will be learned by entire world. But unfortunately, we don't know who keeps media in their hands. But it does not stop us, because it's not a simple project. This is our mission. On the 30th of March 2019, this is a milestone in our association as a new impetus to the development of our movement by signing a contract with the Academy of Private Investor and becoming a partner of the program New Economic Evolution of the World, NEEW for short. And after signing this agreement, our belief in this mission even was reinforced, and participants from over 50 countries supported our ideas. The global nature and the vision of humankind is clearly specified in the program of the New Economic Evolution of the World, which is chaired by a globally thinking person who is a master of dreams, who is bold to dream, and who is not afraid to implement a new economic process. His name is Andrey Khovratov. And the time has come when a person on the planet of Earth must understand that we are masters of our joint home. And when we build bridges between the nations, we can stand the most powerful of this world, because there will be those who feel the strength of the system of checks and balances. They eager to create new wars. They want us to believe that worship is something normal. And this is the time that people should wake up, unite, and live in harmony, in peace. Everyone is to develop in harmony, and this is the reason why there was the previous civilizations, Lemuria and Atlantida, were ruined, that reached the highest levels in their development, but unfortunately those that lost high vibrations of spirituality. And today the solar systems are in galaxy of high vibrations. The process of wakening up of people is getting faster, and there are waves of convergation on the earth that navigate thousands of people. And today the blessed people generate the forms of love, peace, increasing the vibration of the mankind. And the time has come to understand that the material world should not be oppressed to spirituality. The spiritual world could exist only when there is self-development, expansion of our mindsets, when there is intuition developed, and the life is not lived in the past or in the present, but at this particular moment, when a person lives here and now, he becomes lighter, enlightened. And before that, there was a paradigm of poverty, the competition and struggle, whereas the new era will create the paradigm of prosperity based on equal terms and conditions, respecting each one and understanding the ability of everyone to contribute to something greater. And this is a sign of the new era. And therefore, today, development and self-training, self-education, this is what Andrey Khovratov talks about, is the higher priority today than yesterday. For the global transformation of the world, what is enough is that the world mindset generating the high vibration, and it is a characteristic of 1% of the population. The path to change the world is again in the same dimension, to shape and build new mindsets. And these mindsets are built through the new economic evolution of the world program and the program of the International Public Association, World's Generals for Peace. And we are ready to implement it, no matter, irrespective of any difficulties. And we are often asked how we can achieve it, only by building the bridges of friendship in culture, sports, and other sectors, including the Cosmonauts for Peace, Children for Peace, authors or writers of the world for peace, and etc. We have we have prepared a short video about our operations and activities, briefly describing what we do. And we try to show how much effort we invested over these 10 years of our operations. We understood what to be done and how to be done. And we must scale up our expertise in the national sections. And I would like to give an examples of only few bridges of friendship. For instance, sport for the sake of peace. Sport unites the most progressive youth, and there are over 3 billion youth on the earth. And by using sport, we can bring together and grow peacekeepers. As in the fire of war, children from 10 to 35 people die, or female movement for peace, most numerous audience which is ready to combat war and most active if we work with them adequately, because none mother giving birth to her child will never agree to see her child become the enemy of war and becomes the calamity of war. And the future of our planet is in women's hands. And therefore, we do plan to create and launch the movement, the First Lady for Peace. Thank you.
Thank you
very
very much for your words, kind words, and for the message. And now I would like to sincerely express my gratitude for such guests of such magnitude attending our meetings. And the next speaker will be Salizhan Sharipov, who is a former astronaut and also an honorable member of the Association Generals of the World for Peace. So, Mr. Sharipov, you have the floor. Hello, dear friends. Can you see me? Well, yes, we can. Yes, we can see both you and your slides. Okay, first of all, I would like to greet everyone who is attending this conference. I'm now in the astronaut training center, and I can tell you that we astronauts fully share the vision, the goals, and the objectives pursued by the International Association Generals of the World for Peace. And we people who saw the planet from outside and saw it as a small globe, as a small sphere, very fragile sphere too, I think have the right to advocate the protection of this planet and speak of the importance of treating our common home with very much care, and then unite efforts and energy to fight for peace within this wonderful organization. And we astronauts, when we talked to the head of our organization, decided to create a branch of the Association Generals of the World for Peace. And we have lots of representatives of lots of different countries, like Russians, Americans, European astronauts, and they all share in our vision. And we're all advocating peace, global peace, and friendship. And I guess Yuri Gagarin quote suits here best. He said, "After flying around the Earth, I realized how fragile our planet is." Let me remember the exact quote. Yes, and he also urged the entire global population to protect and strengthen the life on the planet Earth. And also, he urged to unite our forces to preserve this place for future generations. And we're talking about a very huge movement here involving 29 states. So we have both American, Russian, Japanese, European, Canadian astronauts going to the International Space Station and bringing there our message, our flag. And we, when we have those shifts, never ever have any distinctions or differences in terms of our ethnicity or religion. Our goal is to research and protect the planet together, and our objective is for humanity to receive new knowledge, for us to unite our strength in order to prevent war. And our cooperation, our work, is a proof that you can work and live and do great things and conduct great research, fundamental research, cutting edge research for the benefit of humanity. And we're doing it today. And we are sharing this knowledge not only with our members and partners, but with the entire humanity. And we are working on our objectives and on the accomplishment of our mission. Would like to have more and more people join our ranks. As Anatoly Skargin said, we need to have 1 billion people and more. And when we have 1 billion people in our ranks, then everyone will hear us, all the politicians, all the decision makers. Unfortunately, right now, they are not really hearing us, and we as humanity don't even know what we are here for. And now it's the 21st century. We've gone through so many wars and horrors of poverty and hunger. We should remember about it and should never allow anything like it to happen again. And as Anatoly said, we have this arms race and sanctions, big players wanting war, and we are visitors on this planet, and we should have a happy, peaceful life so that our future generations would be proud of their ancestors. So that people who would live in the 21st, 22nd century would remember us with kind words as people who made this place a better place. And I would like all of us to live in peace and friendship and harmony, and so that the people from all the countries would fight for peace as one single fist. And we want everyone to be friends and happy. Our objective is, our goal, meaning of life is to be happy, to do good things, to raise our children in the spirit of patriotism and love for their country. Be friends with everyone, because without friendship, without understanding each other, we will never ever be able to build peace. And I see my personal mission is to promote this idea, this message of peace. And no matter where I am, I was in India, I was in Japan, in China, in many European states, in the United States. This year, in November, we are planning to go to Hungary to meet with school students. And all of us are astronauts, and I will personally do my best to promote the ideas and the mission of our organization. Hopefully, one day will come when all of it will come true and we will finally have peace, quiet, mutual understanding, friendship, and everyone will become happy. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much. Yes, Salizhan, we can hear you. Thank you very much for your message and for your words. as Anatoly said, there is women's movement. Just give a second, wait, okay. And now I would like to give the floor to a very unique woman in our team. She is small and fragile, but very strong in her spirit, who is leading a whole army of people who are ready to fight for peace. She has almost 100,000 people from 20 countries of the world who know about us. And now I would like to give the floor to our beloved and respective Kam Nhung Nguyen, Nina. She's our member of our volunteership movement. Let's make some noise for her. Kam, you have the floor. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, I can't see you, but I'm still very glad. Just give us a second. Yes, you can hear the English translation in the Russian room for some reason. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Today we talked to astronauts, and it's a wonderful thing that we witnessed here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please tell me if you are for prosperity and peace, if you want everyone to have a quiet life, love each other, and for us not to worry that one day a war might break out. And I personally, as a member of the Association Generals of the World for Peace, and I would like to express my deep gratitude to Anatoly Skargin for this opportunity. And I do feel responsibility for this world. And if you want this planet to become better, be with us. And let's together make sure that peaceful times stay forever. Could you please go to the next slide? I was born and raised during war. I was born when the war was at its end. It was a very violent war. It ended in 1975. And I was just 20 days old, and my mom tried to escape the war. And the reason why I say that I had two birthdays. The first is my actual birthday, and the second one when I was saved from the war. And a lot of families after the war ended didn't have their houses. Wives lost their husbands, husbands lost their wives. Some families had all of their children killed in a war. And we have a very huge community of people who had very difficult lives. I didn't want you to see this picture, but I wanted everyone to know that we are responsible for our actions. And I think we should do our best to prevent those atrocities in future. And war left scars and marks on everyone. War is destruction, and after the war, we had to move to new areas which had no electricity, no water. There was literally nothing. And I remember I was very fond of reading, and I had to walk and read at the same time. And we had a lot of things. We didn't have a lot of things that our peers in other countries had. And we had to travel long distances because there were no means of transportation. I remember there were a lot of insects. We couldn't shut our windows, close our windows because we had no air conditioning. And if we needed light in the evening, we had to use candles. And, I always dreamt of doing something great, something for this planet, something for the peace. And then I was given a chance. I came across this wonderful organization, Evorich, and I guess it was my fate. And I never realized I would get a chance to do something good for the world. And now in in Vietnam, in the United States, and even Austria, we have been implementing a joint program. And immediately after the pandemic is over, we will start making charitable contributions. We will be raising funds, and then we will give that funds over to the Austrian office of the United Nations. And this money will be intended for mothers, especially single mothers. Let's go to the next slide. And you know that during the war, the so-called Agent Orange was used, and it had a lot of implications, consequences, including genetic mutations, deformities, and other very bad consequences. And also, there was a very violent earthquake in Japan, which was caused by the heating of the ozone. And we are also, as I said, we're responsible for our planet, including the climate change. There was another very strong wildfire in Australia with devastating consequences. In Belgium and China, we have witnessed terrible flooding. Again, I think it is our responsibility. And if we want this planet to be greener, more peaceful, and cleaner, then what should we do? We shouldn't be definitely sitting on our hands and talking about it. We need to start doing something, and let's do it together. Let's do it within Evorich, and let's join our mission, and let's make sure that our dream comes true. And what I dream of is that one day we will never ever have to witness those horrible frames and shots, photos. And no matter where it is, whether it's United States, Vietnam, or anywhere else, a natural disaster spares no one, no matter what country you're from, what religion you have. And I think that together we are able to change the paradigm and to change the situation together with our CEO and his vision. And we will turn the tables and turn this terrible situation into a beautiful landscape. And hopefully one day we will have to face the consequences of all those terrible disasters. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who share the same ideas and support us. And I know that some people are ready to sacrifice their time, their energy, everything they have for our common cause. And I think we should all remember our roots and remember our common home, which is the planet Earth. And I'm sure the pandemic will soon be over. And as I said, we will start our charitable activities from Austria, from the local office. We will hand over the funds raised. And then there is one man in California. I'm quite sure he's here with us. He donated quite a lot of resources. And we have another student, a young person who is now in Austria. Then there is one more person, Pian, in London. And they are great contributors to our cause. And let's follow in their steps and make this world better. And then let's meet somewhere offline on a charitable event where we can rally people together and help each other. And we will surely we'll find ways to address all of our current problems. And let's become members of the Association Generals of the World for Peace. And I'm sure together this mission we will be up to the task. And let's become soldiers, but peaceful soldiers who would fight for justice, for peace, and for bringing harmony into this planet. And thank you for being with us. And I would like to thank the chairperson of the Association Generals of the World for Peace, who gave me this honor. And by the way, I was awarded the medal for peace, and I'm now twice have received this medal, and it is a constant reminder for me that I should never stop doing what I'm doing. And I will stick with you, Anatoly, until the very end, until our goal is achieved. And I will make sure that this world is a happier place, more peaceful place, and for us to want to live on this planet. Thank you to my structure, to my community, and I'm sure we'll have soon 100 million people joining our cause. And I am sure that together we will make this world a better place, a happier place. And I hope that the pandemic will soon be a thing in the past, and then we will convene together in some place, and we'll have a wonderful offline event instead of having those online events. We'll be able to meet each other, have physical contact, hug each other, shake each other's hands, and make history. And let's do it together with Evorich, with the CEO, Andrey Khovratov, and let's contribute to the cause of the global peace, together with Mr. Anatoly Skargin as well, and his colleagues and astronauts. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of deserving, decent people in our country, Galina, Yulia, and many, many other leaders that we have. They're always with us, always ready to help. And we need more hands, more people within our ranks, because such noble causes cannot be achieved alone by a handful of people. We need numbers, and let's do something that the world has never seen before. We have this one dream, and we should not simply say that we want. We need to do too, and let's do it. And thank you for listening to me, and see you very soon. And I'm sure again that the pandemic will be something that our grandchildren, our children will talk about, and very soon we will have no wars, food in abundance. And you see, children like this should never ever, such atrocities should never ever happen. Lots of people were presumed dead and they lived, and this is the actual photos from the actual places. And when the photographer was taking those pictures, he then remembered those shots for his entire life. Those seconds, those minutes were a memory that he took along his entire life. And then the whole world was able to see those photos too. And we should be more active. We should put more energy into it. And now we are not alone anymore. We have an entire team of people who are with us. And thanks to Evorich, who has representatives from 182 countries across the world, and more to come, I'm sure, with more people who have better results. So you can see that I always do what I say. Although my contribution might seem small, but at least it's something. It might be a small drop in the ocean, but then if those drops are all put together, it can become a real swimming pool, then a lake, and then a sea. And I want everyone to join in our cause, and together with our CEO, the chairperson of the Association Generals of the World for Peace, I want everyone to become members of that association and implement our goals. Thank you very much for listening to me. And on this picture, we are together with our partners, helping young mothers, for them to keep the lives of their children, for the future world to be happier. And this is one of the goals that I truly hope I will be able to implement. And hopefully there will be more people around me to help me with that goal. And also, I would like to take this occasion to express my hope that we will eventually meet somewhere offline and be able to hug each other. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kam, for your inspiring speech, for encouraging us to meet in one place and hug each other. Your speech goes from the heart, from the bottom of your soul. I believe that everyone is not indifferent. So thanks a lot for speaking. And now I would like to give you a couple living in India, an amazing couple living there. We understand what is going on in India, but they are amazing as they support each other First of all, I would like to give you this lady. She will speak with her husband. She is a good leader, a great leader. She builds business in Evorich, but she also is the supporter of the national section of the International Public Association Generals of the World for Peace, and her name is Dr. Lidia. Make some noise for her. And she has a husband. He is a kind-hearted, open-hearted person, ready to help and support others. And he actively supports and develops his family, his friends, and this movement, Generals of the World for Peace, as well. And the floor goes to Jimbu Singh Kansam, who is the president of the Indian National Section of the International Public Association, Generals of the World for Peace. Today, they will share their experience and expertise in this Nobel cause. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Tatania. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, everything is fine.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Namaste, Kurumjari. Yeah, it's me, Jimbu Konsam. I would like to say something about the peace. Why peace is important in our lives. Look, peace is the way out of inequity and violence, and a golden opportunity to enter a new, brighter future for the humankind. Yes, all of us are important in this epic endeavor, and future generations need every hand that they can get to receive more equal, peaceful, and make a beautiful world. There are so many motives in the peace. That is the reason why we love to work for peace movement. I'm very happy to be a part as a member of the Peace Association. Next slide, please. Yes, on 4th August 2020, First National Section for International Public Association, General of the World for Peace, was registered at Imphal, Manipur, India. This is the first national section. Next slide, please. Yes, after the registration, in the month of the September 14, 2020, we had first joint meeting after the registration in India, hosting by Dr. Lidia. That was our guest special speaker was respected Anatoly Skargin, General of the World for Peace, and our respected CEO, Andrey Khovratov, New Economic Evolution of the World. Next, thank you very much, you both, sir. Because your support, we can perform. We cannot perform all these things. Next slide, please. Yes. In the month of the 19th September 2020, this is the first time Indian peacemaker congregations at Khumma Lampak Indoor Stadium, Imphal, Manipur, India. Next slide, please. Yes. In the month of the January 9th, 2021, we had first board meeting at Hotel Yaifava, Imphal, Manipur, India. Yes, in this meeting, we have discussed so many things to do actives to perform as a, to the peace movement. Yes, next slide, please. Yes. Then next month, February 9, 2021, we visit an orphanage home, but unluckily, there are no children in this picture because in our society, they didn't allow to expose in social media all their children's. Yes, I seen that game is well working job. I'm really salute. Not only that, we honor the bold-hearted men and women around the world who worked diligently to help their communities and support their more vulnerable neighbors. So today I would like to invite to all the Indian youths, adults and senior citizens to join with our peace association. Those who love to help people to bring love and peace in their lives. Let's unite and work together as a peacemaker, bring peace and harmony all over the world, not only in India. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Back to the host.
And now, Dr. Lidia, the floor is to you. Please share or continue sharing your experience with us.
Yes. Today I'm extremely happy, and first of all, Mayam Kurumjari and Namaste, and giving greetings to each one of you, because being a part of this associations for the peace movement, for to bring a peace in this world, I'm very happy, because this is one of my biggest dreams from my childhood. When I saw the charity sector in our Evorich, I was thrilled. I was very much not able to wait to meet the Anatoly sir as the president of the Peace Association, Indian International Public Association. So when I saw, I was so happy, and I was sure that we can do something for this association. And first of all, I would like to thank God for this opportunity given to us to open the first national section in India, leading by us. We thanks to Sir Andrey and Sir Anatoly as of at the first. And now I'd like to share some points. What are the works we are going to take up for India and for entire world? Can you share the next slide, please? Yes, even though we have registered in the month of August, but we have opened our office in the month of February. We have chosen a date that was on 14th February, because the 14th February, everyone celebrate as a Valentine Day, because we wanted to bring love and peace to whole world. That is why we have chosen that date, and we have celebrated that day with the support of Anatoly and with the support of Sir Andrey Khovratov. So can you show me this next slide, please, Tasanya? Yes, this was a small slice for the celebration on 14th February. You can go to the next slide. Yes, after the celebration, we had the joint meeting, the first joint meeting together. And in that day, we have taken many decisions again. What are the works we can do for the peace? And so that what are the works we can share to whole world, so that people will know that there is a peace association in whole world along with Evorich. And but due to the lockdowns and all, we were not able to proceed what we have taken the decision that day. And again, the next visit, we have visited to the next state, that is Nagaland. And on the 27th Feb, we had a joint meeting with the Evorich and for the peace, and many partners, everyone is ready for the peace. When we share about peace, you know, there is no one in this world that they don't want to have a peace in their life and in the whole world. They don't want, anybody wants to have a war in between amongst people, amongst the country. So everybody appreciate us, everybody is ready for this. Yes, can you show me the next slide? Yes. And the next month on March itself, on 8th March, that is for the International Women's Day. In this International Women's Day, we have celebrated in our office premises. And on that day itself, we have created a women forum that is called Women for Peace, because as Sir Anatoly has already shared also that how strong the women's and how important the women's role in this world. And not only that, the Manipur, the northeast state of India, is, you know, women are very strong. And not only that, and we have a women market, everything we have in women's section. So what we thought is, if we establish just like a branch of the International Association, if we establish the Women for Peace, then it will be really miracle may happen. That is why, excuse me, that day we have formed Women for Peace. Many were ready and many is going to join in, and we are inviting you all to come and join to our Women for Peace movement. That is my request. Next slide, please. Sorry. Yes, we have so many future plan that is in India, from the east, from the corners of India, from everywhere. Everyone is supporting us by sending me mails, by sending me WhatsApps that we are ready to work for this peace movement. Ma'am Lidia, Sir Jimbo, we are always there with you. That's how we have been selecting the leaders from each state. There are so many leaders working for every state. So very soon we are going to have a different sections for every state, and many leaders are going to work for this movement. So, and not only for the women for peace, we are going to have a doctor for peace, we are going to have a children for peace, just to duplicate what the International Public Association is doing. So we will be trying our best level. So from our India, we are going to give this the vibe of love and peace to whole world. So my appeal and my request to each and everyone here who are listening to us is, why not we join together in one hands and work for peace? Because even though we have lots of money in our hand, if there is no peace, then there is no life. That is my thinking. And God has given us only once the life. While you're here in this world, why not you share your love and peace to the universe? Why not we all join together for this peace movement? So this is my appeal and a request to everyone, and that's not, and I would like to thanks again for this Peace Association, our Sir Anatoly Skargin, and our Andrey Khovratov for giving us this charity sector in our Evorich section, in our Evorich company, and plus I would like to thank the previous speaker who has shared the peace and love to the world. And thank you so much for those who are ready to become a peacemakers for this association. So welcome everyone, and then let's join together and let's work together. Thank you so much. Back to the Tatiana. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. We give you a clap of applause for these warm words and appeals. And according to our plan, we have another pleasant part, and the floor is given back to Anatoly Skargin. And I believe now we will get some appreciation from him. Look, I like the idea that the most pleasant part was provided to me. Thank you very much, dear speakers, for your speeches. Super speeches, super talking. So I was energized like from a charger. So, and our astronaut and our dear Cam for her inspiring speech, and our first national section in India, Dr. Lidia and her husband Kansam Jimbu. So like Tatiana said, this is my pleasant mission to announce the decision of our council, and that is to reward those active participants who actively promote our movement. Maybe you haven't heard or haven't seen what we've done and what we've been doing, because this 50 minutes video, quite very a few people saw it, as it is only in Russian available, and we don't have the investment or the funding to translate it into many languages. But look, there is very intensive work, and the national sections in India and the Czech Republic, and they are the first siblings of our multi-billion movement, as Andrey Khovratov says. And today I would like to announce the decision to reward our active participants, Nhung, Nguyen, with our award. You know, when I go to Facebook, I always look how she speaks with our anthem and flag in the background. And you know, many people today know our flag and anthem because of our dear Cam. Thank you very much for your being active, for being successful in Evorich. And this is because you're a merciful person, and therefore you really deserve this award. And a few words about the award to our astronaut. You know, we visited 3 times the star city. So, and only when you are there in the place where astronauts live, you understand how they feel. You've heard how sharp and attentive he talked about our planet of Earth and what we need to do, and the mission he promotes globally. And today, astronauts of around the globe are active participants of this movement, and it's great. It's only the start of our bright plans. And I believe you will all agree that our Salizhan is the hero of Russia, of Kyrgyzstan, and deserves our award as well. So because there is the law of attraction, so the like are attracted. And we have the national activists in the Czech Republic, and the person activist there is Alena Shpitalka. She is an engineer and retired mayor, Congratulations, Alona. Next slide, please. And today it is an honorable role to be the peacemaker. And everyone has the back office and can shape their teams and get the ranks from lieutenant to the general of peacekeeping. And according to our charter, we would like to congratulate our deputy chairperson of the council, Tatiana Osipova, for her award of mercy, Medal of Mercy. And the first order of mercy was created. It haven't been rewarded to anyone. And quite recently there was a meeting and we incorporated our first order. It is called the Medal of Mercy. And under the decision of our Council, we award for the peacemaking, peace promotion of our first general of peacekeeping, the chairperson of the Public Association World's Generals for Peace, Andrey Khovratov. I believe you will all agree that this is a super award, super order, and it is called in a good way Order of Mercy, and Andrey really deserves to get it. But the highest level award is to keep memories of your name in an ally of glory. And I believe that the design of the construction of this, so if you're interested, you can have a look at the design of the bell of peace and the ally of peace, because we are not eternal and the names will be always remembered in these allies. And Teresa's mother name will be there as well. So there will be a separate workshop for peacemakers about those titles, ranks that will be actively promoted under our program. And therefore, I would like to wish all the earthlings peace and friendship, and our team never-ending energy to reach those goals set. Namaste, dear friends. Thanks a lot, Anatoly. We are really grateful. All our partners, all our leaders are grateful, and I am personally grateful. And now I believe it's high time to give the floor to Andrey Khovratov, our CEO. There is a lot to say about him, but I believe I'd better give the floor to him right away, and you will tell us about the benefits of being a member of the association.
Hello, dear friends. Let's see if you can hear and see me. Well, in the Russian room, we can't see you. We can see your slide. Maybe it's me who can't see. Let me see if, yeah, we can see you. Could you please give me a 10 in the chat if you can see and hear me? Because I can clearly see myself with the white background, with our wonderful sigil, Generals of the World for Peace. You know, how to better put it, I'm both surprised and a little bit upset because we have a huge community, yet we have very few people listening and watching us compared to our webinars on financial independence, freedom, and literacy. Although if we really think about the most important thing, and if we were to choose between health, peace, and money, many people still say that peace is the most important thing, but there are still people who say that money is the most important thing. And then I'm going to buy health with money, and then I will think about peace. But this is, of course, not so. this is quite a big misconception, because we, let's say, children of the USSR, people born in the Soviet Union, were raised on movies about war, especially the Second World War. And when I turned 20, I asked myself why we were shown those movies. And then I realized that very unpleasant times are ahead, as Anatoly said in the very beginning, that we are at a pre-war stage. There is a conflict brewing, and I think we had a global conglomerate that held the powers for the last 30 years, who doesn't want to relinquish power. And there is one more conglomerate that has been holding power for the last 200 years. I'm not going to name the countries, but it is so. Although behind those countries, there are genuine financial tycoons, financial emperors. And one financial emperor said that I don't need to be the head of a country or a king, just give me the possibility to print money, and then I will have all countries under my control. And unfortunately, all those behind the scenes conflicts and real wars, as Kam told us about, it was Vietnam War, and it was a conflict that came out of nowhere. They wanted to split the country in two, the way it happened with the Korean Peninsula. And we can honestly say that Kam is the child of war. And war is the worst thing, the most horrible thing that can ever happen and come to the minds of insane people. And the only thing that we can affect here as common humans is to influence the energy informational dimension. And I have been practicing energy informational practices for 20 years now. And I'm pretty sure that you can use energy and energy waves to change the behavior of bad people. Let's say we have 5% of the global population within our ranks, and then we would think about a bad person and think that he is good. After a while, that person would start doing good things. This is how the mind works and energy works. Tatiana quite recently sent me an article where Bill Gates, who is considered to be the worst villain because he's advocating a reduction in the population, and he received the patent for human, how do you call it? Human body? Tatiana might correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, for the human body. It turns out that our body, maybe you saw the movie, The Matrix, and in the Matrix movie, humans were represented as like batteries. Humans were kept in those capsules, and the human energy was used to feed robots. So it turns out that, yes, human body has energy, and Bill Gates received a patent. For example, we will receive those kind of watches or vaccines, and then you can use the Bluetooth and in the smartphones, especially those old ones produced in 2004, 2005. You can see that a human being emanates certain signals. And Bill Gates received the patent for that. And Bill Gates was also advocating the vaccine. One of his companies developed the basic component for all the vaccines. Well, of course, every country has its own vaccine. Russia has its own, Europe has its own, but it turns out they are all based on the Bill Gates company's development, a basic component. And well, I started this meeting from the words that we have overall, 600 people in all the rooms, whereas our regular presentations and webinars have several thousand people attending them. But I hope that we are being watched on YouTube, and then there will be other views later on. And if you are not indifferent to the fate of our planet, our children, we should start ringing the bells, you know, like in the old times, they rang the bells to sound alarm. And that's what we should do. We should sound alarm. And I think in 2024, that's where the human calamities would start. And well, that's what I expected, for them to start on 2024. And they started in 2020, even ahead of time, because the financial emperors are not sleeping. They're now trying to put the entire humanity under control, robotize them with all those new devices. And our goal is to change that. And we have a very small thing to do, which is to unite and think positively. It has been proven, if a group of people think positively and have positive thoughts and create this positive background, then this background starts spreading with an insane speed across the entire world. So, dear friends, we have to unite all the borders that are being closed right now. And for me, honestly, it was a huge surprise, but you know, not entirely. In 2013, I met a person who was my student in the Academy of Private Investors, and he back then met a famous US politicians, and he told me, Andrey, you know, I met those people and they said that in 2018, 2020, the borders would close. And I told him, what are you talking about? Like, we are in the middle of the globalization. The borders are opening up. And he told me, you will see. And I never could have imagined it, but we saw it last year, how they outsmarted the entire humanity. And there are lots of people who are succumbing to it and who play by the rules. And, you know, they vaccinate. But I'm sure that my family and I don't need vaccines, because I know what elements human body consists of, you know, DNA, RNA, cells, immunity killers that can, or virus killers that can kill any virus. So I honestly don't think I'm gonna vaccinate either myself or my family, because I strongly believe if it's your time, nothing will help you, any surgery or any vaccine. But if you are destined to live for like 300 years, you will live for 300 years. And you know my position here. My goal is to live for 300 years. And when I was 45 years old, I realized that with all the goals and things that I still have to do, 100 years won't be enough. That's why I'm actively investigating biotechnologies, but not only about plants that can fight cancer and other incurable diseases, but also I'm looking into technologies that can really help human brain to work at 100% performance, because our brain is capable of doing that, but people and the community itself create the technologies in such a way as to reduce the performance of the brain and for the brain to atrophy sooner, faster. So if you want to live longer, you need to activate your brain and bring it to 100% performance capacity, and you should do it now. Well, going back to the topic of the Association Generals of the World for Peace, Anatoly and I met, if I'm not mistaken, in 2016. Or maybe 2017, I can't remember exactly. It was in a Moscow hotel. And I remember that's where he gave me the pin of the peacemaker. And I told him, I'm not a peacemaker. I don't fight wars. I don't have arms, weapons, and not protecting anyone from bullets. And he told me, Andrey, what you're doing is a genuine peacemaking activity. And that's what we should all be doing. And I kind of realized that, yes, the work that we are doing en masse can be called peacemaking. And Anatoly and I have the same idea, same vision. Well, in February 2011, I opened the Academy's website. So we already could have celebrated 10th year anniversary, but then officially it was opened in autumn. And then Anatoly did the same with the Generals of the World for Peace. So his goal for 1 billion people to become peacemakers and members of the association. And it is my goal too, to have at least 1 billion people financially literate and to become professional investors. So we have common goals, very similar goals. And then we met in 2018, we signed an agreement where the Academy, I as the CEO of the Academy, signed with their association the agreement which aims to help them grow. And now is the time where we can all help the association to grow even bigger and faster. And, you know, I'd say it's a social, it's the next step in the social development of a human being. Remember this, there is this notion of the wheel of life balance. And one of the sectors in that wheel is a social area, social sector, your contribution to society. And the Generals of the World for Peace allow us to work in that social area and do something useful for society and the world in general. And moreover, there are people who are not really socially oriented, you know, lone wolves, so-called loners. But statistically, it turns out that 1 out of 10 people, well, you have like 10 people, 1 of them will be a social worker by nature. So take 10 people who don't like social activities, social work. Statistically, 1 of them, 1 out of 10, will be doing this or that kind of social work. But take 10 people who enjoy social workers, then out of those 10 socially active, socially oriented people, there will be 1 strong leader who will make sure that society is on the path of social development and would bring a lot of positivity to it. And I would like to thank Anatoly Skargin for founding this wonderful organization and which aims to bring peace into the world. And we're helping him do that. Just think, dear partners, who would like to help develop our cause? It's easy. When you're having your rendezvous, when you talk to other people, you can show to them, like, look, we have business techniques, we have education in the form of the Academy of Private Investors, and the Academy of Private Investors is a sponsor of the association, and we can all become sponsors of that association. We can register and simply support the association. It means that we vote for peace. All of us vote for peace. And then if you want to really help, you can simply contribute $5 a year for the association to develop. And that money goes towards opening national branches across the world, for holding peace forums in each region. There are people who say, I would like to help even more. I would like to develop more. And then you can receive this kind of a badge, certificate. Unfortunately, I left it in the car. Tatiana, maybe you have yours. It's like a certificate, a badge, confirming that you're a peacemaker. And if you're the director of the national branch, it will say that you are the director of the national branch. Tatiana, could you show us the badge? Are you talking about this one? Yes. So this badge in here, it, by the way, helps our coaches. I remember Petru Jalbe told us when he was traveling across Latin America and in Colombia, Peru, El Salvador, Mexico, and it opened doors to him. It looks like a police badge, right? Yes. It's not like police. It looks like Interpol badge. Yes. It looks more like an Interpol badge, and each one can receive that, but after our check, because we need to first check those persons to make sure they're not like you know, con men, or I don't know, people, some villains. So, and if you pass the check, you will surely receive such a badge. We will send it to you by registered mail, or you can receive it personally during an offline event. By the way, the next offline event will be our Eventi. Most probably it will be held in Dubai. So those of you who will be attending physically that event and don't have this badge and want to receive it, you will be able to receive it there. I think half a day can be dedicated to the Peace Forum, and then everyone who goes there will be able to receive that badge. Or you can receive it by mail, by post. Those of you who are really active, dear friends, then you can become, can I go to the next slide? And you can receive a rank. I think it goes from lieutenant to general major. One more slide, please, depending on your input. One more, please. Could you please go to the ranks? Well, those are my insignia. I didn't know that I had them. I had so many of them. You know, I have the background, so you can't really see it, but let me turn off my virtual background. You might see in. So you see they are over there on the shelf, all those medals, and also in my office too. So dear friends, those who served in the army and might have received their medals as well. For example, I received quite a lot of them, although I didn't participate in any military activities, but I was good doing, you know, those activities in peaceful, military activities in peaceful time. Like I obeyed orders, I performed my service well. And then my son told me, like, Daddy, can I have the Dove of Peace medal? And I told him, like, look, you can't receive it as yet. I can't transfer it to you. First, you need to do something good to the planet to deserve it. And if you do, you will receive it. So when you register and declare, yes, I want to support this association, you become a volunteer. Yes, you become a volunteer in the association Generals of the World for Peace. And then you can become a volunteer peacemaker, and you pay just $5 a year. Well, give me a plus in the chat if $5 a year is not that big of an amount and you would eagerly donate it for the association to develop and grow. So tell me yes plus, or tell me yes, it's not a big amount. So, and if you think so, then go there already. You can register, and our Quantum Clear is already registered there, our payment system, and you can use that gateway to make a financial contribution for this association to grow and develop, for us to open more and more national offices and branches in every country, each region and country.
And then a peacemaker, when he would like to get this Cairo certificate, then $100 a year. So not for everyone, but for those who would like to become the peacekeeper and the certificate. And if you paid it last year, so then remember that once a year you are to go and pay for the support of our movement, of this association. There is no marketing plan attached. This is your donation for Anatoly Skargin and Tatiana Osipova to develop this movement and to have more and more events. It's not a profit-making association, but if we want to be on TV, we are to pay money, and therefore we are to pay so that we are present everywhere. on TV, on internet, in YouTube, to invite people to support our movement. If you want this certificate, then you are to pay $50 or 100 as a lump sum once a year. And if you want to support this social section of the generals of the world for peace, you can reach in rank as high as general colonel. That is the highest rank. I am the general colonel. Peacemaker must have pass 5 peacemakers. So meaning that you personally share this with the people, 10, 15 people say, yes, we will support this association, and 5 out of them became peacemakers, meaning that they made $100 annual contribution, and all together these 5 people share this idea with another 5, and all together in your personal structure there should be 50. So the number of people who support it is 50 peacekeepers, and then you become lieutenant general peacemaker. Not 50 but 15, and I believe when we have our event in Dubai in October, quite likely there will be one day devoted to peace forum, and we will reward our lieutenants, and the altogether, for instance, the senior lieutenant peacemaker must have 6 peacemakers making their annual contributions, and 2 lieutenant peacemakers, and the structural total is 200 people. So here, from the 1st to the 10th to the 20th level, if altogether below you have 200 peacemakers, out of which 6 are personal peacemakers and 2 of them are lieutenant peacemakers, then you become the senior lieutenant peacemaker. So the captain peacemaker must have altogether 500 people in his structure, 8 personal peacemakers and 2 senior lieutenant peacemakers. Major peacemaker must have 800 people in his structure, out of which 10 peacemakers, 1 senior lieutenant peacemaker, and 1 captain peacemaker. So the lieutenant colonel peacemaker must have 1 personal major peacemaker, 1 captain peacemaker, 10 personal peacemakers you invited personally, and they say, yes, we would like to promote peace in the world, and the lieutenant colonel in total must have 1,500 people in his structure. Colonel peacemaker must have 1 lieutenant colonel peacemaker, 1 major peacemaker, 12 personal peacemakers, and all together in his structure there will be 2,500. Give me 10 in the chat if you would like to reach the title of the general lieutenant general peacemaker. Do we have such people? So if you want to be the major general peacemaker, you must have 1 colonel peacemaker, 1 lieutenant colonel peacemaker, 12 personal peacemakers, and total in your structure there will be 4,400. Lieutenant general peacemaker must have 1 major general peacemaker, 1 colonel peacemaker, 15 personal peacemakers, and altogether 8,000 people in his structure. And the highest title, general colonel peacemaker, with 1 lieutenant general peacemaker, 1 major general peacemaker, 20 personal peacemakers, and 15,000 people in their structure. And where are we going to invest this money? So, for the development of national sections in India, for instance, the money raised there in India, most of the money, 80% of these donations, will be designed for the development of the national section, and the remainder 20% will be for the association to develop further, to set up national sections in other countries. And these are not your donations to me or Anatoly Skargin. So these are for the development of the movement. Yes, so they will be used for the transportation costs, but if not us, who will do it? I know that many people would like to do charity, and the association, a major part will be provided as donations. We will cover only our costs, office costs, travel costs, whereas the remainder will be donated for charity. A part, for instance, 10% will be invested into the development or investment into the investment related components so that they grow in value. And you saw the latest news that Mr. Bezos was going to go to the outer space. A billionaire from the UK, Richard Branson, was in space, and quite soon space will become something common for the majority of population. And you know, when I saw it and why I want to live until 300 years of age, because from my childhood I dreamt of mankind conquering the universe, that there will be space vehicles, and people will be very advanced and love and do what they love. They live in wealth, in prosperity and happiness. But there are many other planets on other universes, galaxies. We read in fantasy books, in fiction movies. They are there. Why can't we fly there? And what happens there? Maybe we are the only human species, um, mankind species on the planet. So then we are to build and keep peace here, and then go to outer spaces, to outer planets, and create the garden city there. But unfortunately, those trends we see, actually they make us believe that these financial tycoons don't want our planet to be the garden city, but they wanted to live in starvation, in hunger, in misery, in poverty. And therefore, I do encourage you to find active people who are interested in this. Facilitate with them this movement in your social media. When you make presentations, mention this, that we support the public association, and me as one of the chairpersons, as one of the CEO of our group of companies, of our foundation that develops and grows. And I actively support it, and I am the Lieutenant General Peacemaker. And we want the new economic evolution of the world become a reality, not 100 or 200 years after, like communism was once built, but we want new economic evolution of the world to be on our planet in 4, maximum 10 years. But it's very easy to implement if 15% of the global population, 1 billion people today, are advanced, enlightened, and they can be positive thinkers. Then many disasters, many wars that are planned or already took place, we would have avoided them. And I believe that a lot of people are awake today, but there are still those who are still sleeping in the state of sleeping anabios, and we must help them wake up, showing that we, the mankind on the planet Earth, are able to implement a huge potential. This is the shared mindset, the shared method of controlling our lives and the life on the planet. Therefore, dear friends, I do encourage you to unite, and to create peace, not with weapons, as many countries actually promote that. First of all, they must conquer, impose something, defy others, and then they will make peace according to their scenario. But we, by our tools, may change, may transform this and breed these peacemaking mindsets in people. And you know, I am the master in this topic. Before they were magicians, but today they are masters. They are the professionals. I know, and I'm an expert in energy and information area, and I know how we, all the people, may impact the positive thinking on the planet of Earth. I'm really excited that today we have this peace forum. Next forum will take place either online or offline when we have our event in Dubai. By the end of this month, we will announce the place officially. And if it is in Dubai, then there will be another meeting, and quite likely these ranks will be awarded, and the orders, the medals that were awarded today. And you know, so the Kam also was praised for her mercy, and she helps children, and I believe she deserves this order even much than I do. So thank you very much, Anatoly. Thank you very much, Tatiana, and all you, my dear friends. Thank you very much. Tatiana says, yes, so we managed to be in line, the timeline. Well, thank you very much to all of you as well. I wish you good moods. And there is such a saying that one is not a soldier in the field. So therefore, let's get united. We have two powerful companies, and there is nothing similar in the world. I wish you all the best, and bye bye.
I'm calling unto you, the people of the earth, and my appeal is full of love. Hard times have come, and it's right time for all of us to understand that making war is wrong and fatal. For we are here to live safe, to love and care for each other, to be in single spirit with the Mother Nature. For we are all the children of the wild. And what do we do instead? Destroy and ruin day by day, fight with each other, and with hate in hearts we sow evil, violence, and darts. We need to think of it today, of what we've come to, of our way, and realize what huge mistakes we've made, and fix them, and build a better world. We must return to causes of creation, escape from envy, enmity, and wars. Decide how to continue our living, and how do we save the nature and the earth. You, people, hear my call on peace and kindness, and choose the path of truth, soul purity, and love. Let's take the path of mercy and compassion, and stand together protect the world. Please, people, have a look around. The earth is beautiful and so may be the life. The Mother Earth is rich in gifts, and all she wants from us are loving heartbeats. For our lives are given from above. The world we live in was created for happiness and love. For us to be admired with the nature, feel good and nice, and listen to the songs of birds of paradise. We have it all to live and to enjoy, to do good deeds and give them all to kids. The world is wonderful and full of magic colors. There's still so much to know and to learn, to feel and to discover. The world is full of beauty, and it's fragile. So fragile that a single crushing moment can kill the magic for all times. Before it's too late, we all together need to fight the force of evil and destruction, to stop grief, pain, and human greed. We must say no to wars and evil forces. May people overcome the sufferings, and may we live in peace. Let's call on light and good and the Creator to stand for us and help, to be our mentor. May we all see the earth in happiness and blossom. Let's make the world shine brighter with good deeds. Let's stop the wars and cultivate the peace. Here is my calling. Please, be patient. Listen. I'm begging you, the people of the earth.